G'day yoga lovers, I'm Michael Joseph, thanks for joining. Today we're going to do a psoas stretch. Now I show my clients this stretch a lot. Psoas is a little muscle like a hip flexor deep inside the front of the hip bone there. Quite often people do what they think is a psoas stretch, but it's just a thigh stretch. Certainly you'll need to stretch your thighs before the psoas kicks in. That helps, but I'll show you the nuances of this so that you can really target it. I'm going to show you in both directions, so please stay in the pose as I change. So the setup is pretty simple. We grab a rolled up towel or a cushion, and we want to have it sort of 2/3 of the way up. When we come to a kneeling position, we want to make sure that our toes are kind of towards the back edge of the mat. Now from here what we want to do is have our shoulders on top of our hips, lean to one side and take a big step with one of our feet. Now the trick here is to actually bring the back hip forward so they're in alignment. So I like to put my hands on my hips, look down. So we want to avoid that. To isolate psoas, we want to draw the back hip forward, okay? And we're pulling the right thigh bone into the hip bone there. Now to prep, what we'll do is we'll just lunge and drop our elbow into the front thigh there. This is just a warm up, and this sort of warns the thigh muscle that we're about to go in. Good job guys, pressing into that front foot and straightening the leg. Now from here, to isolate psoas, which is through the front here, what we want to do is tuck the tailbone. So that will activate that front thigh, but by tucking the tailbone, we sort of isolate this area, and whilst keeping the tuck, we're going to re-lunge. We're drawing this back hip towards diagonally that front knee, and it transitions the stretch from the thigh to the belly. It's a very gradual transition, and we really want to keep that tuck. We can activate that back butt cheek there, and drawing this back hip diagonally across to the front knee. Some people find it helpful to put the arm diagonally across to the opposite thigh. You can put your hands on your hips or your butt and then just artificially kind of draw the back shoulder back and the front forward. Good job, guys. Keep tucking. And then change. Well done. I hope you found it. So from here we'll come to a kneeling position and we'll take a big step with the opposite foot. Now I'm going to show you, you stay there, I'm going to show you what it looks like from the side. So my toes are in line. I take a big step. I'm going to do a prep lunge, and that's just going to get to that back thigh. So we want to feel it very generally through here. Yeah. Now from here I'm going to straighten that leg, and then I'll square my hips. So the back hip is in line with what is the front hip of the front leg, and I'm going to tuck my tailbone. I squeeze that butt cheek at the back there, keeping the tuck. I'm going to lunge. So the stretch will generally transition from here to the front here, and that's where we want it, just through here. It's like a deep belly stretch. And again, like last time, you can bring your arm across, bring the hand behind you, and then twist. And this helps some people isolate that psoas. Once you stretch psoas, you'll never forget it. This is how it's done. Just a few more breaths. Good job, guys. And then change. Well done. If you need to put your hands on the mat to get out of that, that's no problem. So that's psoas, guys, and I suggest you do that 2-3 times a week just to keep it open. Quite often when psoas is tight, we feel it in our lower back. So it's important that you do your hips, lower back, and psoas if you've got any lower back issues. I'm really grateful that you joined us, and we'll see you in the next video. Namaste.